everyone, welcome back. Quick question to hook you right away. Have you noticed that 30 doesn't look like it used to? Not just on social media, but in real life too. Today, we're talking about why turning 30 feels so different now.
Hi, everyone. If you've ever heard someone say 30 is old and felt confused, this episode is for you. We're looking at this from psychology and everyday life. No drama, just honest reflection.
I want to start from a very simple feeling. I'm 29, and honestly, I don't feel old at all. I look pretty much the same as I did at 26, maybe even better. Better sleep habits, better skincare, better boundaries.
That already says a lot. In the past, people of 30 often looked exhausted. Hard labor, smoking, drinking, stress, early parenthood. Their bodies aged faster because their lives were harder.
And yet, online, you still see comments like 30 is old, especially on Reddit or TikTok. It feels disconnected from reality. So where does that idea come from?
A big part is relative age perception. Younger people tend to see anyone older than them as old. If you're 19, even 23 can feel ancient. It's not judgment, it's limited perspective.
Psychology backs that up. Our sense of age is egocentric when we're young. We measure time by our own lifespan. So 5 years feels huge at 20 and tiny at 40.
Another factor is cultural milestones. 30 used to mean marriage, kids, career stability. You were set by then. So I got labeled as the end of youth.
But that timeline has shifted massively. People study longer, they change careers more often, they delay marriage or skip it entirely.
And biology hasn't changed, but lifestyle has. People smoke less than previous generations. They drink less or more consciously. They're not working in mines or factories at 14.
That's such an underrated point. Physical aging used to start earlier because bodies were overused. Now, many people reach 30 without chronic damage, so they simply look younger.
Social media also plays a strange role here. On one hand, it glorifies youth. On the other, it normalizes seeing attractive, healthy 30 and 40-year-olds daily. That shifts expectations.
Right. We constantly see people in their 30s running marathons, starting businesses, glowing. That image didn't exist before. So cognitively, 30 gets rebranded. It's no longer associated with decline.
Yet anxiety still shows up around that age, not because of looks, but because of meaning. 30 is when people start asking bigger questions about purpose, direction, time.
That's important. People confuse existential pressure with aging. They feel stress and think, I must be getting old. But really, they're just becoming more self-aware.
From a psychological angle, early 30s are a transition phase. Identity solidifies, values become clearer. You stop living on autopilot.
And that can feel heavy if no one talks about it. You're not decaying, you're integrating experiences. That's growth, not aging.
I also notice how people talk about energy. They say, I don't party like I did at 21, so I'm old. But preferences changing isn't decline, it's refinement.
Exactly. Enjoying calm instead of chaos isn't aging, it's nervous system maturity. Your brain literally values stability more.
There was a comment I liked that said, I'm basically 27 with 3 bonus years of intelligence. That's a perfect way to describe it. Same body, better mind.
And for many people, physical peak actually comes later, especially those who start training seriously in their 30s. Endurance, discipline, recovery awareness improve. It's not all downhill.
I've seen people start Ironman training in their 30s or discover strength sports at 40. Age becomes an asset because patience increases. You train smarter.
Another misconception is that aging suddenly accelerates at 30. Biologically, that's not true. Rapid visible aging usually starts later, often mid-40s, sometimes 50s.
Unless there's heavy sun exposure, drugs, or chronic stress, which again brings us back to lifestyle. Modern awareness slows visible aging. That's science, not vanity.
I think part of the 30 is old narrative is fear. People in their late 20s panic about losing options, marriage, kids, success timelines, so they project that fear outward.
Yes, it's anticipatory anxiety. They're not afraid of being 30, they're afraid of unmet expectations, and society gives them unrealistic clocks.
From an everyday perspective, most people at 30 feel more like themselves, less performative, less desperate to prove something. That calm can be mistaken for dullness by younger eyes.
But calm isn't boring. It's regulated, it's grounded, and it often looks very attractive.
So when someone says 30 is old, I hear more about their mindset than about age itself, usually limited experience or inherited beliefs.
Exactly. Age isn't just biology, it's context, culture, and comparison, and those have all changed.
We'll go deeper into identity, media pressure, and why people feel younger now in the next part, because this shift didn't happen by accident. It reflects how modern life actually works, so stay with us. Let's continue, because this topic goes deeper than appearance. One of the biggest shifts is how we define adulthood now. In the past, adulthood arrived suddenly and stayed rigid. Today, it's stretched and flexible.
Psychologists sometimes call this extended adolescence, but that phrase can be misleading. It's not immaturity, it's delayed structure. People take longer to lock in life choices.
And that changes how 30 feels internally. You're not late, you're still building. You might be exploring careers, cities, identities. So 30 feels more like a midpoint than an ending.
There's also the comparison trap. At 30, people compare themselves to extremes. Someone richer, fitter, married, or more successful. That creates the illusion of falling behind.
Social media intensifies that distortion. You're not comparing yourself to your neighbors anymore. You're comparing yourself to the highlight reels of thousands. No wonder people feel anxious.
Anxiety gets misinterpreted as aging. You think, I didn't feel this at 22, but at 22, you also weren't responsible for as much. Stress grows before wrinkles do.
From a mental health angle, the early 30s are when many people seek therapy, not because they're broken, but because they're ready to understand themselves.
Self-reflection increases with frontal lobe maturity. That part of the brain finishes developing in the mid-20s. So by 30, thinking gets deeper. Life feels more real.
And reality can feel heavy. Bills, aging parents, career pressure. That weight makes people say, I feel old. But that's emotional load, not age.
Another overlooked piece is community. In earlier generations, people aged together. Same jobs, same neighborhoods, same rhythms. Now, everyone's timeline is different.
That fragmentation makes age feel confusing. You might feel young in one room and old in another. With friends who party, you feel ancient. With colleagues, you feel inexperienced.
So age becomes situational. You're not one fixed number emotionally. You're many versions of yourself. And that's very modern.
There's also the health literacy factor. People stretch, hydrate, wear sunscreen. They know about sleep and burnout. That knowledge compounds over time.
Which means a 30-year-old today often feels physically better than a 25-year-old did 10 years ago. Less inflammation, more balance. That's not imagination.
From an everyday observer's view, 30 now looks like competence, not decline. People communicate better, they set boundaries and protect energy.
And confidence plays a role in looking young. Not seeking approval relaxes the face. Reduced anxiety shows physically. Peace ages well.
That's why so many people say they feel better in their 30s than their 20s. The chaos settles, self-trust grows.
Of course, fear still exists. Not everyone feels secure. Economic uncertainty hits this age hard. But that's a systems issue, not aging.
Exactly. We confuse structural problems with personal failure. Housing, work instability, social pressure, then blame age.
When really, 30 is when you start seeing clearly. You stop romanticizing suffering. You value sustainability. That clarity can feel sobering.
But sobriety isn't sadness, it's realism. And realism allows joy without illusion. That's a strength.
So why does 30 look so different now? Because life itself looks different. Longer lives, slower timelines, more awareness. The number didn't change, the world did.
If you're approaching 30 and feeling uneasy, you're not broken. You're standing at a psychological threshold. It's normal to pause there.
And if someone tells you 30 is old, you can smile. They're speaking from a narrow frame. Time will widen it.
Aging isn't the enemy. Unlived life is. And many people start truly living at 30. That's the quiet truth.
Thanks for staying with us through this conversation. If this resonated, you're not alone. We're all redefining age together. See you next time.